Welcome to another edition of the Couch Bros podcast. I'm actually happy that we kind of ended up recording later in the week because one of the most ridiculous trades that everybody saw coming but was still shocking when it actually happened. And I'm talking about the NBA, of course, and I'm talking about the James Harden trade and how he ended up in Brooklyn. I don't even know where to start. There's a lot to unpack. Obviously, we're going to get to football. Obviously, we're going to talk about Dolphins, specifically Tua, specifically a new report that came out with Armando Salguero talking about Tua's future and his standing with his own teammates. So there is a lot to unpack in this episode. So let's get it. All right, my boys, Rod, Gerson, my compadres, another week. It's beautiful to have you guys here for another ridiculous week of NBA free agency. To let you know, the NBA free agency is year-round. It's not just the actual free agency or the offseason, bro. It is year-round. Let's just get right into it, bro. I don't even want to try to set shit up, bro. What the fuck is your opinion on James Harden being on the Brooklyn Nets, bro? Who wants to take it, dog?
Fam, it was a fantasy draft type of shit. Like, we talked about it. There was rumors. We just didn't believe it could actually happen, and it actually happened. And you know what? I don't trust the pairing, but someone brought up a good point, and I didn't think of it until I seen it, where there's a chance that Kyrie don't come back. And in that case, without Kyrie, I don't believe they'll come out the East. But at least with James Harden and KD, unless they as bad or not as ungreat as I could think they are, like, you know, I don't really believe it showed how great of a player KD is to join Golden State and win 2 championships. I'm not saying, you know, the confidence of finally winning won't make him a better player, but this is where he should absolutely get to the finals this year because he has James Harden outside of injury. I don't know about Kyrie. Like, if they get Kyrie, I believe Kyrie is the number one reason why this team will fail, honestly, because I just don't see him putting it beside his pride or whatever ego to make it work. So that's just my opinion.
This is arguably the most offensive firepower we've seen, like, definitely since Golden State. I don't know, man. When I saw the news, bro, I was shocked. I told my coworker, like, yo, bro. That nigga looked at me like, yo, what the fuck? And I was like, man, fucking Harden is on the Nets now, bro. And then Herb showed me a picture it was a massive mega deal, 4-team trade. The one thing I noticed with this team, though, I mean, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of chaos right now, like with Kyrie missing games and shit. And then Harden bringing his chaos from Houston. Now, I'm not saying he's going to act the same way. The way he kind of handled being in Houston, the nigga was just kind of like, man, fuck y'all, man. I'm just gonna do me. And now he's on the Nets. And from a basketball standpoint, from an offensive standpoint, like, it's hard to imagine any team that could keep up with those 3 guys. But chemistry is a thing, and I'm wondering about that. And then there's depth too, because they lost. I mean, with that trade, they lost Karis LeVert, they lost Jared Allen, who's one of the better defensive centers in the league. Like, you know, they lost some guys. So, I mean, yeah, they still have Joe Harris, but, like, I mean, depth matters. You know what I'm saying? So does defense. So I don't know. I'm interested in seeing how it works, if it can work. The pairing, I think KD could pair with either or guy, but Harden and Kyrie, those 2 guys, bro, I don't know how they share the ball.
And that is where this takes me to where I get my laughs in, bro. Can you imagine a worse situation to coach, though, when you got to go to either Kyrie or James Harden and be like, all right, bro, I need you to run around and do some shit other than just stand on the corner, bro. If you don't have the ball in your hand, please help me help you. Kyrie not trying to hear that. And the funny thing about it, Kyrie has the perfect game to be an off-ball player. Kyrie can move when he wants. He did that shit when he played with KD. You feel me? But then 2 or 3 games into it, Kyrie fell into who he is, dog. Bop, 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 bop. He's gonna make an amazing shot, or he's gonna look amazing missing a shot, bruh. But he needs it. He feeds off of it. Same thing with James Harden. James Harden. This and I seen people making an argument like, oh, we saw the Thunder have 3 ball dominant guys. 1, James Harden came off the bench. 2, James Harden wasn't an MVP. 3, James Harden didn't develop that mindset that rubs so many other players off. Think about it. There's a hit list. CP3, bang, nigga. Dwight Howard, bang. Russell Westbrook, his hometown homie from California, Los Angeles. They wrote so many stories about how this is gonna work. Nigga couldn't wait to get out of there after a year. And you telling me he's gonna work with Kyrie? Are you kidding me? What the hell are you talking about, dog?
Well, but here's the thing. In this situation, the only way this is going to work is if they just leave him alone. Like, they gotta have to let these motherfuckers do what they do. And with the Kyrie, I don't think they will get to the point where they could void his contract, like Stephen A. said. But like, he's a complete asshole, like the way he's doing this shit. Like, it's, and I know he's helping change things and all that other stuff, but like, you can't like leave your team like that. Like,
yeah, it's wild. This is the most. Listen, bro, we've watched these niggas, and I'm talking about basketball players, superstar players, push the envelope on just how much of a dick they could swing, bro. But this nigga took it to another level. This nigga just like, nah, I don't feel like playing. Like, what? I get it. Cool. It happens. But you don't even call nobody. Nobody can't call you, bro. Like, how do you wake up and just like, nah, you feel me? I'm straight.
And here's the worst part. It's one thing to do that, and it's another thing to, like, I don't know, like, get caught. Like, they got a video of this nigga dancing, doing fucking... But no, but that's my thing. It's just like, this nigga's on a Zoom call. It's like Kyrie. It's like, it's just, bro, this man just so disrespectful, bro. Like, this is the most, like, I can't think of a superstar in the longest, bro, that's been this disrespectful. Like, just blatantly just like,
wait,
fuck y'all.
wicked theory that just popped in my head. What if he knew James Harden was coming and he was like, fuck this?
That could be, you might be onto something, bro.
I wouldn't even do it, bro. All right, so let me get on this point. You feel me? Because we could talk about this all day. Like, I'm obviously, trust me, fuck whatever I thought. I can't wait to see it. Like, it could be either the most amazing offensive onslaught you could imagine, or it could be just one of the greatest train wrecks of all time, bro. And that is part of the intrigue. However, I do want to get on this one point, though. This has just shattered the precedent on superstars getting what they want. Your contract doesn't mean shit. How many years you have in your contract doesn't mean shit. I heard so many people saying he's on contract for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. What if they send you to a team you don't want to go to? This nigga still got to the Brooklyn Nets, dog. Like, and that's the point I'm trying to tell you is like, these people, they all work together. Like, if a person wants to go to a certain place, he's going to end up there no matter what kind of leverage you have, dog. And this right here, this completely blows what happened with Anthony Davis out of the water. It's not even close. This blows Kyrie out of the water because remember, he ended up in Boston. He didn't want to go to Boston. He still ended up in a good situation. This right here, though, I got 3 years left. I'm acting an ass, and I still got my way, bro. Like,
well, I don't know why though, but I thought of it like, bruh, as a billionaire owner, maybe he doesn't have money to spend like that. I don't know, bro. But I'd be like, all right, dog, you could just sit down. I'll pay you to sit down, bro. You don't want to play for me. You got 3 years left, my boy.
Okay, all right. This is where we disagree, though.
What's up?
There at that point, then take the trade, take the assets.
Nah, man.
See, now you're just being stubborn for the sake of being stubborn.
But
now you're not being a good owner, bro. Like,
I'm not. I'm absolutely.
You're being personal and petty, bro, for no reason.
But here's the thing, like we said, man, the whole situation, it got to the point where it's too disrespectful. Like, I would have tried to get a trade, and if it wasn't good enough, and this and that. Now he just stepped it up a different level, bro. And now I got to be like, all right, it's pride. And I would absolutely I would think like that. I was like, all right, fam, that's how you feel?
All right, so you end up like the Pelicans, right? The Pelicans got their way. They got the number 1 pick. They got Brandon Ingram, and they got Lonzo Bell and Josh Hart. And they got the same trade that they would have got anyway. They just said, you know what? We're going to make this nigga suffer, bro. For what, bro? Like, I get it. But listen, you got to think about the team. Because think about it, bro. Speaking of disrespect, Boogie Cousins is my favorite player in the league right now because he's the only nigga that just kept it all the way real. That nigga said the disrespect started way before then. He didn't even show up to camp. And when he did, he showed up fat. That was disrespectful. You feel me? He was like, the disrespect been started, bro. You feel me? And when it got to that point, that's why before they even traded him, they said, he's not. We rather him just stay home and not even come to practice no more. At that point, bro, it was done. Take the trade, whatever, dog. You feel me? But again, I don't like how unprofessional he approached it, but I'll be fair to him in this respect. He told them niggas. He gave them niggas every opportunity. They tried to call his bluff. That nigga went nuclear, bro. Like,
no, but that's why you gotta go nuclear with the motherfucker, man.
Nah, Gerson,
no, but if you say I'm gonna get it, right?
Gerson.
Wait. If you said I'm gonna get it, right? I'm gonna still get the same trade.
You got to take the assets, bro. What sense does it make to hold on to someone? Like, what sense does it make to keep brewing a toxic situation when you could look at what they got back for that nigga? They got 4 first-round picks,
they're not protected apparently.
Sorry, I'm gonna let you get in just to get this point. Have your way, right? Boom. If they would have traded him when they should have and just caved in from the jump, they would have got Spencer Dinwiddie, bro. But he got hurt. If he was still healthy, he would have been a part of it. But because you waited, you lost a good fucking player out of pettiness, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't worry about that kind of shit, dog. But
sometimes in life, man. Sometimes in life, you don't need to be the bigger
Herb
person.
Took the words
bro.
out of my mouth. Like, why even, bro? The thing is, you have a player like James Harden. You can get the farm for a nigga like that. So, okay, you don't want to be here. You're gonna cause toxicity in the environment. I'm gonna ship you out, but I just gotta make sure I find someone who's willing to make the best deal, because I think I read somewhere that Philly wanted to do it. I'm sure Ben Simmons' feelings might be hurt, but is that Philly felt like Houston wanted too much. So imagine, like, Houston was like, "Fuck it, bro, we'll ship this nigga out, but we have to make sure we get a king's ransom for a player this good," and that's what they did. They got a king's ransom. James Harden is now on the Nets, and we have. And this is what's so amazing about the NBA. Like, I don't think any sport has storylines like the NBA. Like, this has now become the most intriguing storyline in the NBA. You have a team that is championship caliber just on talent alone, but you don't even know if you even gonna get bro, we might get 2/3 of that team because we don't know what the fuck. Bro, we don't know what's gonna happen with Kyrie and the Nets. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. That's another part entirely. But if these three come together, this is gonna be some of the most amazing basketball we'll ever see. For good, for better, or for worse, it's going to be some of the most amazing basketball.
All right, so, I mean, to me, I think that's a good point to just pause not say pause the discussion, but now, you feel me, we're on to the next part as far as now we got to see it happen and see it on the court. And then once we see it on the court, we'll be able to discuss that. So let's actually change gears and switch back to football. You know, that's our baby. We could talk about the divisional games. We could briefly recap this past weekend. You feel me? The games kind of went how I expected them to go. You feel me? I told you that. I don't know if I said this on the pod, but I said, bro, I'm gonna go grocery shopping besides watching Mr. Trubisky, dog. I should have stuck to my word, bro, because I would never get that 2.5 hours back, dog. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get onto your team though, because to me, so much interesting stuff is going on with your team that I want to actually get onto that, right? We've been talking recently about Tua. We've been talking recently about what do you think his ceiling is.
Booty juice.
We've been talking about in these past couple of episodes, like it's been a recurring topic. But there is a reason why it's been a recurring topic. You feel me? Now, whether you take, and to anybody who's listening, you could go find this article too. It speaks to what we've been talking about this past couple of weeks, whatever side you're on, but it speaks to the light. Armando Salgado of the Miami Herald, is it Sun or Miami Herald?
I think it's
Sun Sentinel. All right, that's a local newspaper down here in South Florida. He has an article talking about, and they're from anonymous players, 3 of them, speaking on how they just don't really see anything about Tua. They like him, they think he's good, they just don't feel like he deserves the automatic spot. Now, take that shit with a grain of salt. You feel me? You know, and me, this is perfect because I want to get your perspective as a Dolphin fan, and how did you absorb that article if you read it, anything like that?
I read the article. I mean, well, number one, I seldom listen to anything Armando says, but throwing that out the window, when I read the article, I mean, the way I look at it, I mean, them players are allowed to have an opinion, bro. Like, I'm sure there are players who thought Tua played well enough. What it shows me is that the Dolphins have gotten a lot better about hiding our dissension in the locker room, because it took until after the season for this to come out. I'm sure some guys felt that way. I'm sure there was a slight faction for Fitz in the locker room. You know, who knows? But to me, when I read it, I was just like, oh, okay, we got another fucking anonymous, you know, players going anonymous talking. But that just speaks to what might be going on in the locker room. And then you have the Deshaun Watson rumor trades, which, by the way, I do like Tua. Like, a lot of people, I think when it came to Tua, he had a lot of hype about him, especially considering, and, you know, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, man, like, as much as I shat on Justin Herbert, like, he looked like the best out of all the rookies, including Joe. But that aside,
It's close.
yeah, it's close. But yeah, they both looked really good, especially Joe before he got hurt. Hopefully he'll come back from his injury, at some, closer to 100%. But anyway, when it comes to the article, I didn't really like, them niggas are allowed to have an opinion. They don't have to like Tua. Like me, listen, man, like I'm an obsessive fan when it comes to this. When Tannehill was drafted, his first 4 years, bro, I watched every snap. I mean, I thought he was on tape, Tannehill always looked good. It's just his pocket presence was terrible. With Tua, in the totality, I thought he had a solid rookie season, bro. Like, they didn't ask him to do a lot. He played 9 games. I thought he played decently. The last few games he struggled, but I mean, shit, it happens, bro. He's a rookie.
Well, I gotta say this when it comes to Tannehill. Like, it's amazing to me how bad your team made him. Like, everyone that leaves your team become better somewhere else, bro.
But here's the thing, bro. I said that shit for years. I told people, bro, we had one of the worst offensive lines in football all the time he was there. Nigga.
Listen,
I try to tell people, bro.
Listen. It's not that I'm shocked at. Yeah, I'm shocked at how good he is.
By the way,
but I strongly feel like it was coaching more than anything.
Adam Gase was terrible. And we had Joe Philbin, who was an offensive coordinator that didn't even call plays. That nigga just gave Aaron Rodgers coffee, bro. Let's just be real. All right. So we had him, and then we had Adam Gase. You see what Adam Gase did with the Jets? Shit.
My God. And he might get another job.
You know how
but
it is.
hey, nonetheless, like I said, Tua is not special. He doesn't seem special, and I wasn't shocked to hear this. I mean, I've been telling you that I strongly felt like if you had what's his name, Fitzmagic. If you had Fitzmagic, you would probably have the same record. That's how good your team is. Granted, he probably would throw away some games. And he probably, like, it'd be the same, bro.
That's the funny thing, like, when people bring up, like, a lot of, like, because, I go on the Dolphins Reddit, and that shit it's in chaos right now because of that article, right? And, you have your faction of people who like bring up certain things, and people bring up like, oh yeah, man, well, he got pulled 2 times and Fitz played great. But I'm thinking, like, do people remember how the Denver game ended? Like, Fitz came in, they kicked the field goal, he drove them all the way valiantly downfield. It was like an 80-yard drive just to end the game throwing a spectacular interception, bro. So, like, people talk about, they threw, like, it's not all rosy and sunshine with Fitz. Like, don't worry, listen. Ryan Fitzpatrick right now is my favorite Dolphins quarterback ever. He gave me some of the most entertaining football I've ever seen as a Dolphin fan. And that might be something sad to say as long as I've been alive. I'm 31 years old. So imagine, he's my favorite Dolphins quarterback ever, because you know what? By the time he got here, we all knew what he was. He was Fitzmagic or Fitztragic. And you never know what you're going to get, bro. So, but when it comes to Tua, like, I mean, people can think what they want. I will say that Tua now understands what he had at Alabama. That good O-line and like having all the best talent around you will definitely make you look better. But when you watch him on tape, there are a lot of games where he shows some good traits as a quarterback, shows some veteran traits. Like, you don't see too many rookies that look off safeties and shit like that. So, I like what I saw from him. He wasn't as special as I thought he might have looked, but coming off the hip surgery, this crazy offseason, that applies to all the rookies, but he was rehabbing and not training. So that makes a difference. So I think next year we'll really get to see what he can really look like.
All right. So, that was eloquent. I appreciate everything you said, right? But going back to the article, and I just got the article up. It was the Miami Herald. So let me go ahead and clarify that to anybody who wants to find it. Make sure they get the right information and right place to go find it. I'm looking at the article, and again, you can always take stuff with a grain of salt when it's an anonymous source. What the fuck is that? That could be that, bro. That could be this fucking poll that we're looking at, bro. Like, anonymous source. But if, say it's true, right, and you hear something like this, right, quote, "We always think next man up no matter what," the player said. "But I saw Tua as the next man up because Fitz was better." And I hope it's not true. Well, who knows? I don't know. But if it is true and you have multiple players saying that, because players know more than anybody. You feel me? They see this shit every day. Another complaint from the players, according to this article, is, we mentioned it, they don't see a special trait. They don't see the ability to, not even that, they don't see anything like, hey, stuff breaks down. You got the pizzazz, the agility, the footwork, the speed, the escapability to make something happen off schedule, dog. And they even question his arm strength and his velocity. So there's, again, anonymous sources. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure there's other people that's like, nah, nigga, that nigga way better than Fitz, bro. Did you see him against the fucking Jets, bro? We were balling, this nigga still throwing picks, dog. So, hey, it's whoever's side. But I just wanted to speak on that because going back to history, history shows, bro, every round there's a bust. Every single round there's a bust. You feel me? There's never, and rarely going back to the Super Bowl era, where every single quarterback drafted in the first round, all of them were good. All of them were serviceable. There's always a bust. It's 50-50 mathematically. So I just hope, for Dolphins' sake, the guy that y'all wanted for 2 years, tank for Tua for 2 years, not 1, 2 years, is not the guy that ends up being y'all bust, dog. No, that would be terrible.
No, but what I would say to that is, like, fuck it, bro. Like, even if he is, if what they say about Watson is true, bro, do that in a heartbeat, dude.
Oh, I will say this. I do like Tua. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. To me, I'm fine with either or. If they decide to give them their pick
that's
back,
the most retarded shit ever. Like, dead ass, if you could get what.
No, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. That's the thing. If they can get Watson, you think I'm gonna say no to a guy who I know is a top 5, top 6 quarterback?
What would be too much to give up for him?
No, I'm not. I'm not the GM. I don't know what they're thinking in the front office. But what I'm saying is, listen. If you ask me, my coworker brought it up to me when we first heard about it. He was just like, "Oh, bro, you think we should get Watson?" I said, "Nigga, if that's on the table, of course we take it. Like, if we could do it, of course." Like, that was what I told him. Like, I believe that. Like, bro, like, here's the thing. With Tua, I'm banking on potential. I'm banking on what I hope. I'm banking on what the things I think I see. With Watson, we know what he is, and he showed that even his rookie season. So, dude, if we could get Watson, like, what do we, bro? Out of all the teams that they could trade him to, we probably have the most to work with, bro. Because we can give you a franchise, quote unquote, quarterback in Tua, and you could get your third pick back. It would be so poetic if the Texans had to trade us their quarterback to get their pick back, bro. I would love that. Like, bro, there's so much to that trade I would love, bro. I get me, bro. The Dolphins are a playoff ready team now. You think if Deshaun Watson's on this team, regardless, we're gonna get receivers no matter what happens this offseason. You think he's not gonna make the playoffs with the team we got? Come on, bro. I'm with it.
All right. Speaking of receivers, right? And this is something because one of the complaints that people are in defense of Tua, right? They're saying, hey, he doesn't have enough talent around him. You feel me? He needs to get the right players around him. One, I'm only going to buck back on that because if you are a franchise player, that shouldn't even be a question. You're supposed to enhance whatever you got, bro. We seen Deshaun Watson have his best year statistically without DeAndre Hopkins, dog. You feel me? Like, it was at one point where he was 17 touchdowns to 0 interceptions at one point in the season, bro, without DeAndre Hopkins. So I don't want to hear that. However, they do have this guy named Devonta Smith penciled in at number 3. I know you've been looking at him. I made the mistake of being daring and chose to be bold and say I wouldn't draft this nigga in the top 5. And then what this nigga do, had 12 catches for 215 yards in only 2 quarters of football, dog. And it's really hard to deny that. Do you think getting Devonta Smith will make a huge improvement, or you guys need more than that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like you. I'm not like you, Herb. Like, you are college football through and through. I do keep up with college football loosely, so I know about him. I watched the championship game. I was impressed. The nigga just knows how to get fucking wide open. If the Dolphins decided to draft him at number 3, I mean, the drafter in me says no. But when you see the display he put on, and I gotta watch some more tape on the nigga. Like, I don't really know as much. I watched a few things here and there, and from what I've seen, he looks awesome. Come on. And for Tua to have a receiver like that, I think we would definitely add more than that. I don't know if we would need more than that. Because we still have Mike Gesicki, who I think is going to become even better. He had sort of a breakout year, and then we have Devontae Parker still, who's a pretty good possession receiver. But I mean, I'm not mad if we draft Devontae Smith. Like, let's see what happens, bro. Like, you never know. He could be the next, like you said, Marvin Harrison.
All right, so this is me going out on a limb. All right, I ain't drafting no wide receiver that's not Julio Jones profile, Calvin Johnson profile. That nigga could have had 50 touchdowns in the season, bro. I don't care, bro. You feel me? And listen, he's going to be very productive. He's going to be really fucking good.
Wait, whoa. What did you're not, unless it is their profile, you won't get them? That means
not
like,
at that high. To me, bro, if
like
I'm
Odell, you wouldn't draft Odell if Odell was there?
If people knew what Odell was going to be, he would have went bro. The first receiver in that draft was Sammy Watkins. Number 2 was Mike Evans. If you draft Mike Evans in the top 5, 6'5", 4'5", 230, you can't stop him. I understand that because there's just a freak athlete there. You feel me? Odell was at LSU. I was surprised. I didn't even know who the fuck Odell was, bro, because LSU don't throw the ball, bro. I was like, who the fuck is that? That they had a receiver at LSU? Like, what? Yeah, but that to me, that just speaks. Like, again, speaking of Odell, perfect example. Wasn't the first receiver taken in this draft. He was the 3rd receiver. And you can make the argument that he was the best receiver taken in the draft, dog. And I don't want that to happen to Devonta Smith. You feel me? To go into a long line of receivers taken first and not ending up being the best player at their position in their same draft, dog. Listen, going back to 2007, you could do it. Calvin Johnson was the last wide receiver taken first that actually ended up being the best wide receiver, dog. Doesn't matter what year you got. In between 2007 and 2020. Oh, you want to say Amari Cooper? You know who got drafted that year too? Stephon Diggs. You're not picking Amari Cooper over Stephon Diggs? Hell no, bro. You feel me? Another example. 2011. That's the Odell Beckham. What's it called? You feel me? So trust me, you can pick whatever you want, bro. I'm telling you. Just 2 years ago, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. Who would you rather have them? Them? They got drafted in the 2nd round? Or the guy that got drafted first, N'Keal Harry? You ain't picking that nigga. Niggas on the Patriots wouldn't pick that nigga. His own mama wouldn't pick him, bruh. So, again, top 5 is, if you're a wide receiver, you have to be a freak of nature. Top 5 is reserved for left tackle, quarterback, or really, really, really good defensive player / DN something. Just a freak of nature. Jalen Ramsey, you could be a top 5 cornerback because you're 6'1", huge, 200 pounds, 2 feet strong, long arms. You could cover anybody. That's a top 5 player to me. Devonta Smith at his size and his lack of elite traits is not a top 5 player to me. Again, the nigga was like, fuck you, Herb. I'm finna go get these yards on your head. That nigga he was on pace for 400 yards receiving, bro. It really would have been bad for me to even try to argue that at that point, dog. But alas, sticking to football though, because we could talk about the draft whenever. We got the whole offseason to talk about the draft, bro. You know we have a huge passion for that. Let's briefly touch on these upcoming games though. I think we were right for the most part. I think the only thing that we really got wrong was the fucking. Oh no, No. We picked the Bills. We picked the Ravens.
I don't think everybody picked the Browns.
I'm pretty sure I picked the Browns. I didn't pick the Steelers. You picked the Steelers.
I don't remember who I picked. I think I might have picked the Browns. I think I thought positive.
Hold on, man. Matter of fact, because I got this, bro. Let me go to my notepad. You know what I'm saying?
Take notes.
I took notes because I was like, because I wanted to see who. Nigga, we all picked the Browns. Nigga, you couldn't even pick the Steelers, nigga. All that shit you talk about Baker, nigga, you still picked them, though.
No, but I thought the team was a better team.
This nigga here, man.
I was just hoping that
all
Baker
that
didn't
shit
play
he was
good.
talking, bro. All that shit he was talking, bro. You fuck. I picked the Bears, nigga. What? The fuck was I smoking, bro? What? Okay, Rod, you picked the Titans. Me and Gerson picked the Ravens. Rod, you was really getting spicy, bro. That boy picked Washington. Well, you was being spicy.
Oh yeah, that was no, I didn't know Alex Smith. No, with that one, I had no idea Alex Smith wasn't playing. Although to Tyler Heineke or Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, you wouldn't have got a better.
Yeah. Yeah, like Alex Smith, like what Taylor Heineke taught me was I would have been wrong either way. But I had made the pick thinking Alex Smith would play a decent game. I just forgot that Washington was Washington for a second, but it's okay because these later games will be a lot better.
All right, so let's get into them. Starting with the first Saturday game, 4:00 on Fox, 4:35 I should be to be specific. Packers Rams. Hey, listen, we all picked Seahawks. We were completely wrong. Do you know how good their defense had to be to overcome one of the worst Jared Goff games of all time? I don't give a fuck if his thumb was broken or not. I don't give a shit. You feel me? I couldn't make a difference from that with him being injured or just a regular bad Jared Goff game, bro. So I don't want to hear that, bro.
To that point, because I didn't want to forget this, I actually think Sean McVay was low-key mad that Walford got hurt. Yeah. Because think about it. He started Walford, and Jared Goff played the whole game. That means you could have started him. That means, you know what? You wanted to go with that guy because you know Jared Goff sucks.
And that's the beauty of Sean McVay, dog. Sean McVay deserves an actual quarterback, dog. This nigga's a wizard. That he has to do so much to get the best out of this nigga, dog. Like, this nigga has to do Houdini shit, bro. Like, absolute, bro. You know how happy he was when he was like, this nigga got hurt. I have an excuse to sit this nigga, dog. No, Jamal. No, why did you do that to me, dog? Now I got to really fucking coach again, bro. This shit is stressful having to coach my ass off every minute, bro. Jared Goff, don't give that nigga a break. Don't give him a quarter, nothing. If Jared Goff is out there, bro, Sean McVay has to coach his life out every play to play, drive to drive, bro. All right, that's the type of shit this man has to do, bro.
Hey, bro, I could just imagine Sean McVay just like looking at the time, looking at the clock, because I think it cuts off for 15 seconds before the play, and just like trying to get every little bit in, dog, and it cuts off. And on the plays where he can't get everything in, Jared Goff is just looking like, oh fuck, daddy didn't tell me what to do, bro. It's crazy.
All right, so let's actually get to the matchup with the Packers and the Rams themselves. Trust me, quarterback aside, right? To me, this is my favorite matchup the entire weekend, dog. I got Jalen Ramsey on Devontae Adams. I have Aaron Donald, who's injured, but he's going against an injured O-line, bro, so something got to give, dog. I have Aaron Rodgers, who is probably the best to do it off of just pure play. If you want to say just pure playing at the position at the highest level, the best to ever do it, going against a defense that made a Hall of Famer, walking Hall of Famer, and Russell Wilson looked like he had no business even being on the field, bro. That's how good this defense is. I didn't even know it was the number one defense, bro. And then as soon as I watched that game, I was like, oh, that's why. Yeah, this defense is for real. So, how do you feel the game is gonna go? And what are you looking to see?
Well, you ended it with my favorite matchup, and Aaron Rodgers has a history of going up against number one defenses and not being able to come through. I was going to bring that up. He's 0-4. He's 0-4 against number one defenses. He's facing another one, a really good one. You have two of the best players in football with him and Aaron Donald, and then you have the matchup. I'm really looking forward to Devontae Adams and Jalen Ramsey just because Devontae is different from like DK Metcalf, who tries to body up with Jalen and just can't do it. Like Devontae Adams, man, this nigga gets open, bro, and this nigga's ability to get open is unlike almost any receiver in the league, and it's going to be super fascinating to watch how he's guarded. But in terms of what I think of the matchup, I'm gonna go. I was spicy last week. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb, yo. I think the Rams are gonna upset the Packers. Like, and this is no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. The guy threw for over 4,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Like Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football since ever. Like, I don't think there's been someone who's thrown the football as good as him. But he's just gonna have to prove to me that he could overcome something he hasn't been able to do. And granted, I know Jared Goff is on the other side, but Sean McVay is such a great coach and gets the most out of his offense no matter who's out there. And I think, and the Packers defense, while it was better this year than it has been in previous years, I think McVay can scheme up something to score on them. And I think the Packers, that pass rush is for real, bro. Like Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, like, bro, that whole defense is geeked up. We saw that last week, and that defense is the reason why they even made the playoffs. Like, come on, bro. That Jared Goff is literally an on again. He's young Fitzpatrick, bro. Like, this nigga will have one game where he looks competent, and then he'll have another game where he is who he is. And maybe he's due for a good game because he was bad last week. We'll see. But if Jared Goff is any semblance of competent, I think the Rams are going to take it.
I just thought about it. The number one defense, you can win a Super Bowl with the number one defense. You just have Jared Goff to wonder about.
I mean, sorry to cut you off. Every year there's a number one defense. You have to win with a historically great defense, and we're talking like 2015 Broncos, historically great. Legion of Boom, and even Legion of Boom had a Hall of Famer, bro. That's you got to make that, huh?
They're not close to that.
You got to earn that. If you are that good, you're gonna earn it on the field, bro. And that's all I got to say to that.
Okay. But like I said, the thing is, everything I would have to go with the Rams because I just really honestly believe that, like, they can stop Aaron Rodgers because my defense once stopped Aaron Rodgers, and I know this defense is better. So, like, I could see it happening. They got the D line, they got the cornerbacks to guard the receivers. So, yeah, I'll give it to the Rams, man.
All right, so let's get on to the next game. We got Sunday night, 8:00, NBC. This is the game, bro, and my man Bomani Jones has rightfully called it, bro, the game of two Americas, bro. White America versus Black America. Culture versus white culture, bro. This is literally, bro. The motherfuckers in the hood are going to be rooting for Lamar Jackson more than they've ever rooted for this nigga. Like, think about this. You're going against somebody who you were in the same draft class with. You've been far more successful than this same person. And you've literally have lost only a handful of games in your entire career. I think you've lost less than 10 games or at 10. Like if you've lost that many at this point, including the playoffs. And you're still getting questioned when this dude had one of the most ridiculous playoff games of all time last year, bro, and nobody's questioning him. I know Lamar is dying to get this out, like play this fucking game, dog. Like, bro, I'm a unanimous MVP. What more do I got to prove? This nigga just got a good wide receiver, dog. Like, and nobody's going to question him. Like, so I'm super interested in it because this is the same way that the DC Capitol exposed that there's a lot of double standards and a lot of unbelievable hypocrisy, bro. This is going to expose everybody, bro. Just say you don't like Lamar because he got twists in his head, bro. Just that's it, bro. Just be 100, bro. You can't make no argument for Josh Allen and not make the same argument for somebody who has more accomplishments, dog.
Nah, Herbie, I completely agree, man. Like, I mean, I think Lamar is better than. I mean, they're at least the same. And Lamar is an MVP. He had one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen from a quarterback, from both running and passing, because he passed. I think he had like 33 touchdowns to 5 picks, something ridiculous like that. And it's funny because, I'm picking the Ravens to win this game because, number one, fuck the Bills. Like, I'm a Dolphin fan. You think I'm gonna root for those niggas? Fuck them niggas, man. And you know what I'm saying? Especially the way we ended the season. I want to see the Bills die. I knew the Colts weren't gonna do it because of Phillip Rivers, but I have all the faith in the world. Josh Allen, he hasn't faced too many defenses as good as he's gonna face. The Ravens defense, for what it's worth, was better than I even gave him credit for, because they completely shut the Titans down. Like, Derrick Henry had his worst game of the season, which in turn led to Tannehill not having a great game, although Corey Davis got hurt, which had a big part to do with the passing game. But still, with Marcus Peters out there, they got guys on defense, bro. Like, I think the Ravens could do a good job. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle Stephon Diggs, because Stephon Diggs had a fucking ridiculous season. I think he had the 6th highest in catches for a season, Herb. Stephon Diggs, like 100. I think he had 127 or something ridiculous like that. So, I do think that the Ravens will be able to topple. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I think the Bills' defense will actually do a decent job against the Ravens' offense, but ultimately, I think Lamar will make more plays than Josh Allen, and they've both been, Josh Allen, to his credit, has been an MVP caliber quarterback this year. But nigga, I'm taking my boy Lamar. You already know.
Listen, the thing about this is that it can go two ways. Like, Ravens win big, or Ravens win, marginally. And the thing that makes me a bit scared, but because I feel like this is the game that Josh Allen could make me eat my words, because the only way I could see the Bills winning this game is Josh Allen balling the fuck out, not making any mistakes, making all the right plays, all the critical plays at the right time to keep drives moving, to get a touchdown, whatever. So this is the game I expect to see if Josh Allen as good as everybody said he is or think he is. I'm one of the people that don't believe in it. I at least have to see it again for another year. And this Sunday will show me, like, it'll be oh, okay, then he's for real. Like, if he crashes and totally have a bad game like he had last year, that would let me know, okay, then it is. But if he balls out and he end up losing, I'll be like, all right, bro. So that's how I see it.
All right, so let's get to the Sunday games. This one, early game, early-ish, 3 o'clock kickoff. Browns at the Chiefs. Browns who this game could get either or. You feel me? It could go either way, right? It's either the Browns weren't just taking advantage of the same terrible schedule that the Steelers got to feast on, and they're actually a legitimately good team, and they put everything together, or they are just the same team that took advantage of a bad Steelers team that they also got to kick their ass in the fucking playoffs. And crazy, they were up 28-0. I think it was 35-0 actually, and no Brown fan was comfortable, dog. That's the life of a Brown fan, dog. They literally had to see the game end to actually believe that what they were watching actually happened, right? So I'm going to switch it up in this regard, right? Me, I always tell you guys, I'm somebody who always roots for history, historic players, historic people. You feel me? I've switched, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went from rooting against Kobe to rooting for Kobe. I went to rooting against Floyd Mayweather to rooting for him. I want to see history. Normally, I would be like, all right, I'm rooting for the Chiefs because I want to see if they could do it again. However, and I don't want to give him this much credit, but I am going to acknowledge that this man is really fucking good at his job. I want the Browns to curb stomp the Chiefs just so I could fucking see Nick Wright suck a fucking dick, bro. I am rooting for the Browns for obviously selfish reasons. I don't give a shit about Cleveland. Fuck Cleveland. You heard what Joe Kim Noah said. Nigga said, have you been to Cleveland? What's there? What's there? Fuck Cleveland, right? But I am a Cleveland fan just so I can see this dude shut the fuck up. And this is no personal beef against Nick Wright. That's just a man doing really, really good at his job, dog. But I got to see it. So I am rooting for the Browns, bro. And as crazy as it sounds, the Browns have the pieces. They have the pass rush. They have a good enough secondary. And Baker Mayfield has been a top 10 quarterback the past 10 games, bro. So, and they have the best rushing attack in the league by far. So they have all the fucking pieces, dog.
When he said Baker Mayfield has been a top 10 quarterback for the last 10 weeks, I was like, you motherfucker.
Why do you want to take, bruh?
Nah, man, listen.
Why do you want to take that away from him, dog? That doesn't mean he's
he
a top 10
hasn't been
quarterback.
a top 10 quarterback.
He has been in all the numbers. He's been statistically one of the 10 best quarterbacks. That's fine if you
when you average it out. There's been a couple of. There was a game where he got like 190 yards and no touchdowns.
Bro, why are you arguing?
Listen, you know what? Bro? Hey, listen. You know what? Have fun, bro. With your belief.
I'm not. I didn't say anything outlandish, bro. Like, what did I say? What did I say, bro?
Listen, man. I have the Chiefs winning, but like Kirby, I could see the Browns doing something. It all depends on Baker's play, bro. Like, they can play great, they can do everything right, and he can cost them the game, fam. So, I'm going Chiefs because it's the right one, but I wouldn't be shocked if there was an upset.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, I don't want to say the Browns are a bad matchup for the Chiefs because is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as a bad matchup for a team with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes? But what I will say is the same point that you two alluded to prior to me, is that the Chiefs have, I mean, not the Chiefs, the Browns have the weapons in order. They have the weapons, and just their style of play is actually, and you know, we say this all the time on this pod, and if you watch football or any sport, really, you know, is that styles make fights. And the Browns have a style that can fight the Chiefs pretty fucking well. So when you add to the pass rush, even though Olivier Vernon got hurt, they still have Myles Garrett. Their defense is actually pretty decent. I mean, you saw what happened to Big Ben. Big Ben had his stats looked good in the end, but he had one of his worst days ever as a quarterback. And the Browns' defense was a huge part of that. But when it comes down to it, if you ask me to pick a winner with a gun to my head, I'm picking Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I just think that as good as the Browns may play them, I think the Browns are going to put up points. I think the Browns are going to put pressure on the Chiefs. But the Chiefs have I have to see somebody stop them. I have to see the Chiefs not make the critical play. The Chiefs have been able, for the past 2 years, to make the play they need to make no matter what the game is. And I don't know if the Browns have enough to stop them from doing that. But I think it's going to be arguably the most exciting game of the weekend. I think it's going to be a shootout. But I think the Chiefs will it's one of those games where whoever scores last wins, and I think it's going to be the Chiefs.
Wait, I just want to say it made me think how the Chiefs would lose the game. I just remembered how one of the wins in the last couple of weeks, Baker Mayfield, both of his running backs had 20 touches. So I just want you to understand, like, if both of their running backs get 20 touches, there's a good chance the Chiefs might lose. But also, Baker Mayfield sucked. That's it.
You just had to get that out, huh, bro?
Yeah.
So, and this is the one thing, like, logically, and I'm going to be real quick. I'm going to just make it real short. Logically, I should lean towards the Chiefs for only one reason, right? They could score in such a barrage to the point where you take the running game away. You take the running game away from the Browns, you take away play action, and you're forcing Baker to Mayfield to be a full quarterback. You feel me? And he's shown that he's not. He's at his best when he's in rhythm, where he could go again, when he could follow the game plan and do what the fucking 1, 2, 3, boom. Not, hey, I got to do this, I got to do that. You feel me? So there is a plan where they're down 14 points, bro. Them niggas ain't getting 20 touches apiece if they go down 14 off rip, bro. You feel me? And that's a highly likely thing, bro. So with that said, I'm still rooting for the Browns, bro. And lastly, Saints Bucks, the third trilogy in 2 fucking weeks, bro. How does this happen? This is rare that it's happened 3 times in the same fucking playoffs, dog. Will the Bucks finally beat old man Drew Brees, bro? Go ahead, Gerson.
Nah, well, I honestly believe that there's no way that, like, I believe Tom Brady would lose 3 times in a row to a team. It's just something about the Bucks got like it wasn't the fact that like they lost to them 3 times. They got destroyed. I mean 2 times. They got destroyed both of those times. It's like they didn't even show up to the game. So like I don't believe that would happen again. And if it does, it's like, come on, bro. In the playoffs, this is what you like. I do not believe it's gonna be a destruction. I gotta put it on. Tampa Bay is so fucking.
Tampa Bay is that low hanging fruit, bro, because they got so much, bro.
They got so much potential, bro. But I can't, even as I'm trying to say it, bro, I do not truly believe they're anywhere near like clicking, understanding each other. I just believe they face garbage competition. And like even with the Washington team, like the game was too close for too long. Like they eventually blew them out. But imagine them trying. Like our defense is good enough where Drew Brees is bad enough that I'm not scared of them scoring. But like, what if they do? Like I could see our offense sucking completely too much. Like if if New Orleans get 14 points up, bro, I don't think the offense can get them back. Like if we spot them 14 points, I don't think they can make up the 14 points, bro. So like, I really want the Tampa Bay to win. I really want them to win, but honestly, fuck.
Man, you're real torn about this, aren't you, man?
No, I really want Tampa Bay to win. I just don't believe it.
I could tell you're saying we. Like, I got confused for a second. You're saying we. You must really love Tom Brady. I understand. He gave you a lot of joy. When it comes down to it, man, when it comes to the Saints and the Bucks, I thought about their 2 matchups. The first matchup was like a weird one. I feel like you can kind of throw that one out. But, yeah, but when it comes down to it in this third matchup, I don't see it going the way the first 2 games went. I think the Bucks, like for pride's sake, I see the Bucks putting up a way better fight against the Saints. Like you said, Gerson, I thought about this a lot. I don't know how I feel about, and this is the greatest respect I could give to my most hated player ever, Tom Brady. He's the player I respect more than anybody, but I hate Tom Brady just as much. I just can't. I mean, it's hard for me to see Tom Brady get beat by the same opponent 3 times. That's never fucking happened. Granted, he's 43, and it's not the Patriots. It's not Bill Belichick. It's not the same system. But, man, it's hard for me to believe that the Bucs just haven't been waiting for this game because they were embarrassed it was Sunday Night Football. They were embarrassed by the Saints. And I just feel like on the Saints side, when you're the team that has the leg up sometimes you need to lose to a nigga sometimes to understand, like, okay, this is what I got to do to beat them. The Saints have had 2 great game plans against the Bucs go well. They're going to need a third one to do it. The Saints are the team that I think executes better. The Bucs can be sloppy at times. They get stupid penalties. You can see Tom Brady going crazy sometimes. The Saints have the better defense. Man, it's hard for me. I'm gonna go with the Bucs. I think it's gonna be way closer game than the last ones. I think the Bucs are gonna edge them slightly. And I think it's just gonna come down to, I think Tom Brady's gonna play better than Drew Brees, and I think that's gonna matter. Granted, the Saints defense has done a great job of neutralizing him the first 2 games. I think Bruce Arians and crew have hopefully figured it out.
Yeah, this was going to be my favorite game of the entire weekend, bro, because I'm going to get to see 2 old niggas be old as fuck, dog. Because the Saints got a defense, bro. They love sacking that nigga. Cam Jordan gives his, that's his thing, bro. Sacking Tom Brady, he loves it, bro. So he's really going to be motivated. And the one thing that showed, 2 things. We can't have 5 drops from Chris Godwin against the fucking Saints, bro. You could do that against the Washington team that doesn't even have an actual name, bro. You could get away with that shit, bro. And Taylor Heineke, right? You're not doing that against the Saints. 2, the Saints are going to take advantage of the that Washington couldn't do, bro. We watched the game, bro. There's nobody who wants to get hit less than Thomas Edward Brady in 2020. If he sees you coming, the ball's gone, bro. It's either going to somebody's hand or it's going in the dirt, bro. But he's not going to take no blindside hits for nobody no more, bro. He got kids. He has a wife. He has a couple businesses that he has to worry about, bro. He ain't got time for none of y'all niggas, bro. TB12 got a he ain't a businessman. He's a businessman. And he thinking about that when niggas coming around the blindside, bro. Like, so that is literally the only flaw on the offense of the Bucs, bro, is the fact that he does not stay in the pocket the way he used to, bro. And I feel like that might come to bite them in his ass. But it's hard to beat a team 3 times, bro. It's really hard, bro. You know me. I'm rooting for the Bucs. I want to see the Bucs. I want to see if anybody's going to be the first team or the first player to take his home team to the home site of the Super Bowl, bro. I would love it for it to be Tom Brady because that would just add to his legacy, bro. And it just like he needs more shit, right? But it would still be cool, bro. The rich will get richer, dog. But it still will be fucking cool, bro. So I'm rooting for the Bucs. But like you said, bro, there's a lot of ways that the Saints could win. But if the Bucs just come together and put it all together, dog, because that game against the Washington shouldn't have been that close. It shouldn't have been an 8-point game, bro. At all. I don't care what you say, bro. It was still a backup quarterback, dog. Right. All right. But yeah, I going to Bucs. I'm guessing everybody's going to Bucs too.
Yeah. Well, I think he went with the Saints.
You going with the Saints, Gerson?
Not the Bucs, man. The Bucs.
All right, let's go, man. All right, man. Another week. We'll check back with everybody who's listening. Go ahead.
Before I know we didn't plan for this. It just popped in my head. But I know we don't do the bad dope of the week or you're the worst during the playoffs. But I just had to throw this bad dope, bro. Shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. For that's the bad dope of the year, baby. Going a muffled snap. Yeah, muffled snap.
How do you go over? Listen, the first play was a botched snap. How do you? The nigga really punted the ball, bro. Ben Roethlisberger is 6'5". How did the ball go over his head, bro? That nigga is not Kyler Murray, bro. He is 6'5", and it went over his head, bro. Like, and Ben Roethlisberger don't got the reflexes to catch that shit no more, dog. He don't got them reflexes though, bro. You can see his neck get stiff, try to locate the ball in the air, bro. That was crazy, bro. But yeah, bad dope of the century, dog.
Bro, them niggas were down 28 points in the first quarter of a playoff game, bro. They were down 28 points. Not only were they down 28 points in the first quarter, they were down 28 points to, and I don't care how they played this year, the Cleveland Browns. That is a stain for you guys. Like that, like you gave Browns, like even if Brown fans don't make it to the Super Bowl, their season is a success for that fucking reason, bro.
Hey, speaking of that, bro, this is how little respect the Browns get and just how niggas don't take the Browns serious, bro. Just off of history, bro. You niggas got mollywop, bro. Niggas on the Steelers talking about, man, they still the Browns. Shit's like, yeah, they gonna get clapped next week, bro. They still the Browns. Just the disrespect, bro. Like you just got mollywop by these niggas, bro. You still can't respect them enough to just say, hey, good game, bro. You got it. Niggas say they gonna get clapped. They still the Browns. Juju was like, bro, it's the Browns. What are we talking about, bro? Like, the disrespect, bro. But hey, another good week, bro. I appreciate y'all boys, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, deuces.